Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. And still, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney. His record now improves to 29 wins with no losses, 15 wins by way of knockout. First and foremost, what an amazing performance by Devin the Dream Haney. He looked better in this fight than he did in the first one. He put on another boxing clinic. I mean, what can you say about this guy? He's 23 years old, the youngest undisputed champion in the four belt era. It don't matter where he fights, who he fights. He's with all the smoke. Back-to-back wins in Australia. One more fight left on his deal, his 3-fight deal with Top Rank. Man, Devin Haney, he won that fight to me, 11 rounds to 1. The only round you could really give Kambosos, I thought, was maybe the first round, because he came in with something new, switching from righty to southpaw and trying to confuse Devin Haney, and that would probably be the only round I could say you can honestly give him. It was a unanimous decision, obviously. Took a couple of rounds, but once Haney figured him out by like the third, fourth round, I thought he was comfortably in the fight. I thought he was comfortably like controlling it. He timed him, and he was just throwing his jab followed by a right. He was throwing his right, and he did what he wanted to do in the fight. And like I said, another boxing clinic. I'm not saying he's Floyd, but damn, he definitely has the look. I would like Floyd 2.0. They were talking about it during the broadcast. He was more like on the Money Mayweather, the just picking people apart, not knocking people out, but just picking people apart. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. That was the second fight on his 3-fight deal with Top Rank, and only bigger and better things are coming for him now. I mean, before I go any further, I just want to compliment and really big up Devin Haney, because he's a class act in boxing. In a day and age now where so many of the top fighters try to avoid dangerous fights just to protect their O, that Devin Haney is not doing that. He's been willing to put it all on the line anytime he goes out there. He's ready to fight the best, and he only wants to fight the best. There's only a couple of fights that he's even thinking about entertaining next. That's Lomachenko and Tank at 135. I feel like he's going to have that one more fight at 135 and then move up to 140, because you can clearly tell it's getting harder for him to make 135. It was definitely evident in the weigh-in when he looked drained. It did not affect him in the fight, though, because, like I said, he dominated. Maybe, like I said, one round goes to Kambosos. Haney made adjustments, and there was no answer from Kambosos. He really had no answer. He tried to come in and make it rough, and Haney just countered, and Haney just beat him up, to be honest. I thought there would be a stoppage in the 10th round. I believe that was my prediction, and it sure as hell looked like it was going to happen, because that 10th round, that was the most dominant round of the fight. He hurt Kambosos a couple of times throughout the fight, but Kambosos was tough. He held on. He didn't go down. He finished the fight on his feet, and I got to commend him for that. But for anybody saying Haney is like pillow fisted, he has no power, there's a reason why Kambosos did not just rush in recklessly. It's because he felt enough power from Haney that let him realize, if I get reckless, I could get knocked out. And that's absolutely true. If anybody does not have Devin Haney in your pound for pound list at this point, your pound for pound list is invalid. Let's keep it a buck. Devin Haney is absolutely top 10 pound for pound. And in my opinion, he's right there in the top 5, if not just on the outside looking into the top 5 of the pound for pound rankings. He should strongly consider, though, moving up to 140. If not now, definitely after his next fight, his last one with Top Rank. Kambosos, man, like, where do you go from here for him? He's definitely a tough competitor, and he can hang, I believe, with a lot of the top guys. He's just not gonna beat all of them. Like, the style like Haney is just not suited for Kambosos. That's just a style I just don't think he can beat. It's not the end of the road for Kambosos. He's still a tough, strong fighter, and I hope he doesn't retire. I hope he stays active and continues to fight, because he can give us definitely some entertaining fights, moving forward. But back to the man of the hour, Devin Haney. Back-to-back wins in Australia, man. Who's next? He, like I said earlier, he only entertaining Lomachenko or Tank Davis. I think it's going to be Loma. Do I think Lomachenko deserves the fight? I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I don't think he deserves it. Because what has he done to deserve the fight? 2 losses in less than 20 fights. He took a L just, three fights ago against Teofimo Lopez. And then he beat 2, C level fighters. And now he deserves a title shot. It is what it is, man. Old media, they're going to big up Loma for whatever reason. They think he's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, I did say he does not deserve a title shot, in my opinion. At least not to fight Devin Haney for a title. But I want it to happen, and I think Devin Haney wants it to happen too, because I want Devin Haney to finally close this chapter, the Lomachenko chapter, that people want to forget that Loma ducked Devin Haney. Devin Haney was 20 years old, and he put himself in a mandatory position back when he was with DAZN. And he was calling out Lomachenko. He wanted that fight. He was calling him Nomachenko. Let's not act like that didn't happen. And then Loma vacated the WBC belt in order to go get the franchise designation so he could duck Devin Haney. And now how the tables have turned, he's over here trying to get a fight with Devin Haney now. I do believe Devin Haney is going to give him the fight, because Devin Haney just wants to be the best. And Devin Haney said it himself. If he beats Lomachenko, he's going to get his just due. He's going to get all the credit in the world for it. I really hope that fight happens. It'll be an exciting fight. Now, I did say Loma, I don't think he deserves the fight, but I'm not saying Loma's trash. He's just not as good as they try to big him up to be. Lomachenko is definitely on the upper half of the division in terms of talent. Though I think a couple of top guys beat him, though. I think he loses to Tank and Devin Haney. I think Loma would beat Ryan Garcia, but Shakur, I think, also beats Lomachenko as well. That's not taking nothing away from Loma. It's just, he's just not as good, in my opinion, as old media and ESPN try to make him, out to be. I do still think Loma and Devin Haney would be a very good fight. It's righty versus southpaw. I think the skills of Devin Haney are superior to Lomachenko, and I believe Devin Haney would beat Lomachenko by unanimous decision. I think it would be a clear victory as well. But if and when that fight gets announced, we'll really take a deep dive into it and really talk about, what we expect to happen. So we'll see if that fight happens next. It most likely will, because I don't see Tank fighting Devin Haney anytime soon, because what the reports are talking about, that Tank is very close to finalizing his fight with Ryan Garcia. So we'll see what happens there. Now, there's a newcomer to the 135-pound division, Shakur Stevenson. And I think Shakur and Devin Haney would be an amazing fight. That, to me, is 50-50. Both guys are the most skilled fighters at 140 or below. I don't think there's anybody more skilled than them two. I think that, like I said, 50-50 fight. I think it would be a very technical fight. I don't think anybody gets knocked out in that fight. It would probably go to distance, in my opinion. It would be amazing. But I do not want that fight to happen at 135, because clearly it's getting harder for Devin Haney to make the weight. and Shakur is new to the division. I really think we're going to get the most out of Shakur versus Devin Haney if they fight each other at 140. Because by then, they would have beaten more opponents, obviously. And potentially both could still be undefeated. And I think the fight at 140 would be even bigger than what it could be right now. Both guys are very young. They're both under 25. So there's plenty of time to make this fight happen. Because I think if Devin Haney and Shakur fought now, the loser of that fight, I think by old media and the average fan and the casuals who just like to hate, I believe the loser of that fight is just going to get so much hate, and people are going to act like they really weren't that good to begin with, which to me is insane to think that Shakur is not that good or Devin Haney is not that good. That's why I want them to fight at 140, where Shakur's got more names on his resume, Haney's got more names on his resume, and that fight will be the biggest fight at 140 when they do cross paths. And it could be, at that point, a unification fight, or who knows, maybe even undisputed at 140. That's what I think for Shakur and Devin Haney. So truthfully, I think the next fight for Devin Haney is probably going to be Loma, and that's going to be an exciting fight. Very good style clash. Yeah, and obviously, I think Devin Haney will win that fight. But Devin Haney, to me, is top 5, top 6 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And if you don't have him on your top pound-for-pound list, your list is invalid, and you're just hating on the man at this point. So I just wanted to drop my thoughts on Devin Haney pulling out another victory over George Kambosos in Australia, and potentially what's next for him. So until next time, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section who you think he's gonna fight next. Loma, Tank, Shakur. Who do you think is gonna fight next, and do you think he can beat those guys? And where you have him now on your pound for pound list. So once again, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. Until next time, we're out.